I usually drop a video on Monday. Most of the time I drop a video on Monday. But yesterday I didn't. So in this video, I'll run some of the things that we can do in order to earn a living in Zimbabwe. Most of the time we talk about farming, we talk about poultry, we talk about chicken. It's just chicken rearing, not poultry farming. We talk about being on the farm. Yes, I do believe that money is on the ground, but are there no other things that you can do besides just farming? My apologies, today I'm wearing a chest shirt. It wasn't my intention. I just thought of doing this video whilst I'm outside, okay? So just bear with me. In life, you have to do something that you love. You have to do something that you have a passion for. Not only do something that gives you money, but also do something that you love doing, you know. Do you have a passion for farming? Yes, you are relocating to Zimbabwe. Yes, everyone is making money through farming, poultry, whatever. But is it that something that you would consider is something that you love doing? Or you're going to be forced to do it because everyone is doing it? So I want to actually get to look at some of the things that you can get into that can give you is a source of income. In one of my videos, if you remember, I did a video where I was talking about 5 ways that I was earning money when I went to Zimbabwe. During that my 30-day trip, if you still remember, that was somewhere around May or somewhere around June, when I first had to go to Zim to just put one foot in Zim to check what's on the ground. So in fact, before I talk about the 5 things that you can do, or not necessarily 5, but the things that I feel you can also try to engage in when you get into Zim, first of all is for you to understand what's on the ground. Do you know it's funny that one of those sources of income is actually training people to do something that you're not doing? This is one thing that I've seen, and with people we call motivational speakers who are not even doing anything on the ground, but they've got expertise in certain area. What one can do, like what I did myself, is I started with 25 chickens, I went to 50 chickens, I did 100 chickens. So my knowledge of how I raised the 25 and managed to sell them, what I was doing on a daily basis, what I fed them, the vaccination that I put the chickens on, and how I started to search for the market for those chickens. That alone for me was quite an experience, which I can actually use to say, I was in Zimbabwe, I was on the ground, so I'm going to be giving you a training on how to raise your chickens, how to make money in Zimbabwe rearing chickens. So you can then just have those 100 chickens. That might be the maximum number of chickens that you can keep. But then use your knowledge, your practical experience on the ground to start WhatsApp groups where you train people, where you teach people. I understand that there are a lot of people who are professional chicken rearers, if there's something like that. They're professional people we have trained how to raise chickens. They've got the theoretical ideas, the theoretical information, but they don't actually know what happens on the ground. They don't have that street knowledge. But if you are such a kind of a person, you just need to do maybe 25 chickens, 50 chickens, so that you actually know what happens on the ground. Combine that theoretical knowledge and your practical experience and start doing trainings. You know, it's fun. I've noticed there are a number of people who are charging $20 for a training, be it online, be it in person, where you see it's being attended by over 100 people. Which means if you have 100 people attending your training, be it online, you're doing roadrunner farming, you're doing broiler chicken farming, and you have 100 people already paying $20 for that training, for that 1 hour or 2 hours, how much would you have made? That's quite a lot of money. And this training usually are done in different cities. You do this training in different, if it's a physical training, you do in different cities. You start visiting people who are actually into roadrunner or chicken farming. You give them a consultation. You tell them what they can do. That's one source of income, consultation. You start a consulting job. Because what is happening is that everyone wants to relocate to Zimbabwe. And mind you, not only those who are relocating to Zimbabwe are the ones who are involving in poultry production. Even those who are already there in Zim are actually doing poultry farming. So in order for you to make it, you need to stand out in a certain way. So you have to find other avenues whereby I know the motto these days is that you don't actually have to work hard necessarily. You don't necessarily have to work hard, but you have to work smart. So number one, provide consulting services. Know a topic, know an area, and provide that training service in that area. I remember at some point during the COVID-19 era, COVID-19 pandemic, you know what I did? I started doing videos. Most of you, I think you started knowing me when I was doing dramas, I was acting, I was doing my skits and stuff. Then I also started training pastors on how to conduct church services online. Started training companies how to conduct work online, you know. So I noticed there was a gap. I noticed that people needed that consultation. People needed that information. Okay. Oh, so you wanna work on my car now?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want here?
Take out shot.
Oh, just take out shot. Nothing from me, right? Maybe I should also unlock the car because the alarm can go off. So guys, I'm still fixing my car. Yeah. Let me just. Okay, it's fine now. How many hours? Oh, can I open the bonnet also?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, open the bonnet. Yeah. I'm fixing the car, guys. That's fine. Okay, let me just do my video here whilst you do your work. I'm changing my car shocks, by the way. I think I said it earlier. So, I started offering consultation services. I started WhatsApp groups for pastors, WhatsApp groups for churches, training people, number one, on how to conduct a church service on WhatsApp, how to conduct a church service on Facebook, on YouTube, how to do a live stream using your phone, how to do a live stream using your cameras, how you connect, how you take your audio from the mix. So consulting services actually paid me during the COVID-19 pandemic because people were coming and I would train them online. So this is one thing that you can do now. Besides just focusing on the land, focusing on poultry farming, find other things. What is it that you know? What information do you have? And start offering consulting services. You were in the diaspora for years. You are an advocate. You are whatever area you are in. You are a chef, whatever you do. Also consider looking into those areas. Also consider doing those things on the ground when you relocate back home to Africa, to Zimbabwe, to Zambia, to South Africa, wherever you might be. So that we don't mainly focus and like the title of this video, not everyone is going to be a farmer. Not everyone has to be a farmer. Yes, we're talking about owning land, but somehow I believe there's someone who can just own land at 300 square meters for you to have your own house. It's not necessarily that when you relocate, then you need to have your chickens, you need to have your cattle, your goats and stuff. The idea is not for you to live someone else's life. You have to live your own life. You have to have your own ideas. You have to enjoy life the way you love it. Because I've seen some are actually discouraged to relocate. Why? Because all they hear is, hey, you need to do poultry. You need to. Some they don't want to do that, you know. And it's very, very fine. You don't have to relocate so that you do what everyone else is doing. Relocate because you want to relocate and have peace of mind at home, way there back in Africa. But doing what you love doing. So number one, I talked about consulting service. Offer those consultations in your area of expertise. Visit people's places, visit people's farms, be it farms, and offer that service. Then there's also one thing that I've discovered is I actually talked about this in my previous video where I said if you don't have money, it's hard to make money in Zimbabwe. That's a fact. And if you're considering relocating, make sure you have got money, you've got something, you've got certain savings. I know there are a lot of people who always say, I went to Zimbabwe and I had nothing. I went back to Zim and I had nothing. That's good. But most of those stories are a bit tricky. People might already have had money, like as in cash, but they might have had a business. Because if you store a business and you've got assets worth more than 10,000, when you go back to Zim and you still have that business running, that equipment there on the ground, then you say, I went to Zimbabwe, but I had nothing. Then that will be a very, very big lie. And you will be misinforming people. And people will end up deciding to go to Zim with nothing, not knowing that you went with no cash. Not like you had nothing. You had assets, you had a shop, you had equipment, you had something of value. So make sure before you relocate, you've got something. You've got a plan, not also a plan, just a plan, but also you've got money. Be it cash, that's liquid money, or in assets. Because for you to go back home without any money, without any source of capital, without any source of income, I'm telling you, you're gonna struggle, and you're gonna struggle big time. So for you to make money, you also need to have money. So what am I saying about this? So let's say we hear that this season is a season where people are making money by selling chickens, by selling road runners. What you simply then do is, I was actually watching one of the videos of a guy who's doing mass production of chickens, and that guy is talking about having 11,000 chickens on a cycle. And what you do is, let's say you find a market for chickens, but you don't want to do the real farming, you don't want to do the hard labor. Like I am saying, you have to work smart and not work hard actually. So what you then do is go buy 1,000 chickens. And like what the guy was saying, he's saying at 4.5 weeks, his chickens are already at 2.1 kgs, and he's selling them at $4.50. When you get $4,500, go and buy 1,000 chickens, transport them to a market that you already have, sell them at $5 or $5.50. If you want to sell them bulk to someone who's going to also do production with them, or who's going to sell them, you put 50 cents per each bed, which means you have 4,500 chickens. You have 1,000 chickens, and you've paid $4,500. You sell them at $5, you're getting 50 cents per chicken times 1,000 chickens, which means you already have made a profit of $500. This you can do in a day or in two days. So what's important is, if you have got a market and you've got the money, you don't necessarily have to build those chicken fowls. You don't have to wake up in the morning checking the brooder and the chicks and stuff, but you simply go to a finished product, get that 2.1 kg bed, sell it at a profit of 50 cents, then you make $500 already in a day or two. This is another way that you can actually make money on the ground. So most of the other things, if you've got money, if you've got cash, if you've got liquid, one of the things is, you don't necessarily have to do the things. You use your money to work for you. You let your money do things for you. And another thing that you also feel you need to be careful about engaging in these projects and doing whatever you're going to be doing is also to check the market. I've talked to a number of people who are saying, guys, I've got 50 pigs right now that are ready to be sold for meat. I've got 5,000 beds. Where is the market? The market is there. If you read the statistics, they say in Zimbabwe we use about 400,000 chickens every day. And chicken is in deficit supply. So there's always there's always a market for chickens. But where is that market? Where do you sell? It's one thing to say there's a market, and it's another thing to actually get to see the market. So make sure you also do thorough market research. I'm not saying don't start something because there's no market. I'm saying do thorough research. Because also one problem that can happen is, you can't go to a restaurant and say, how much do you buy your chickens here? If let's say I've got 100, they'll say we buy at this price. Then they will tell you to bring them tomorrow. But you want to start the business, you want to start building the fowl run, you want to find land. And the moment you found the land, you started doing the project. After 6 months, the cycle, you go there, they already have another supply. So it's good right now, whilst you're watching this video, to consider what you want to do. To start doing your research online. Watch videos that are relevant to your path, relevant to your journey. What are other people saying about chicken farming? What are other people saying about cattle fattening? What are other people saying about the field that you are interested in? And above all, I'll also try my best to emphasize the fact that don't just do anything that everyone is doing. Do something that you have passion for, and that you have also seen that you can break even and make a profit out of it. Another point that I'm thinking of, as I'm passing through, is that to say, when we talk about this relocating journey, when we talk about going back to Africa, going back to our roots, connecting to our roots, we need to understand, especially in the case of Zimbabwe, to be precise, Zimbabwe of now is very, very much different of the Zimbabwe 3 years ago. I'm telling you, there's a lot of change that is taking place in Zimbabwe. There's a lot of change that is taking place on the ground. I was listening to one guy in my WhatsApp group who had an audio where he was saying that Zimbabwe is very small for us to say we have got towns and we've got rural areas. I understood his point. What he was trying to say is that our country is very small, guys, and you can travel from one corner to another corner in a single day. You can travel 12 hours, whatever, but in 24 hours you can be from one corner to one corner of the country. And Looknat is in the boot, Okay, sorry guys, in regards to motor, I'm fixing my car, so yeah. But you need a lock nut. That's okay. Let me give you the lock nut. So, by saying that, it means that you can do production anyway. You can just do production anyway. You are. Oh, I didn't lock this car. What's happening? You take out the battery. Yeah, that's why the boot can't open now. You have to put back the battery. You put it back now. Okay, fine. So guys, bear with me. Oh, I thought I couldn't find my lock. Okay, I found it now. Yo. Okay. The lock nut is here. Hey, it's almost finished, this lock nut. Okay? But I didn't tie that much on the lock. Yeah, that's what's happening, guys. So I just get used to this, because even when I get to Zimbabwe, I'll be doing those vlogs and trying to show you what I'll be happening on the ground. So I know what I was talking about is to say you can do production anyway and supply anyway in Zim. So you can do production in the rural areas and supply in Harare. And we need to shift from the idea that Harare is the only city. We need to shift from the idea that Bulawayo is the only city. We need to broaden our minds and thoughts and see that because one of the hindering factors for men who are not doing anything in Zim is that they say we don't have land. We don't have land. Where do I get land? But let me tell you, the real thing is that you do have land, but the problem is that you want land that you cannot afford. You're saying, we don't have land, I need to do these projects, but I don't have land. Let me tell you, right now in Harare, land is very expensive. Very, very expensive. Peri-urban, Dema, Dombosha is also becoming very expensive. But you have your rural home. You have your Buera, you have your Chifu, you have your Mrewa, your Mtoko. Why not start there? Because if you're going to buy land for 10,000 for 1 acre or 2 acres for $10,000, but you already have 3 hectares of land in Murewa, in Mutoko, where you grew up in your ancestral land is there. Why not take that 10,000 and begin to put it as capital? Why not take that 10,000 start building whatever you want to build in your area, rather than taking the 1,000 and buy land? So if you see, and I was also talking to one guy was saying, you know, there are places like Coca-Cola company. There are companies in town, insurance companies, whatever companies in town, even probably where you are working, they don't own that land, they don't own that building, but they are actually renting the building. And when they are renting, they're actually making profits. And for 20, 30 years, we've seen Coca-Cola, I don't know how many years it has been there, they are renting the place. They might not own the land, but they are making profits out of it. So also, in as much as you would want to own land for your house, when it comes to work, when it comes to projects, you can actually lease. Get a lease, find somewhere where there's land already and start doing something there, rather than invest lots of money into buying land, yet you have little to invest on the ground. This is one idea and one suggestion that I've been talking to some of the guys, because my idea all this time was to say, guys, we buy land, then we do this on our land. It's good, but when it comes to work, let's do work. Let's find somewhere where we can work, because this is not about a residential stand where you say I'll stay in this place for this number of years, but also find somewhere where you can begin to work. So don't be limited to make money in Africa, in Zimbabwe, simply because you're saying you don't have land. No, start renting, start getting a lease, then you start there. Once you start there, you can grow from there, grow from there, grow from there, going forward. So this is one other thing that I thought I should say to you. So guys, as you can see, I'm actually preparing. I've been preparing for quite a long time. And preparation can take 3 years, can take 5 years, can take 10 years. What is important is that for you to relocate, make sure you've prepared. So there are also other people who are into IT like myself, or doing graphic design like myself. Just think about this. I've said this many times to say, if you look at me, what I do here in South Africa, I can do it even in Zimbabwe. When I went to Zimbabwe, I set up, put up a solar and inverter. I put just electricity, about 3 kV power at my mom's house. When I was there, I bought a table, I set up my small office, I was working. All that was left was maybe Starlink for good network connectivity, but I was just using those Econet and Net1 data. But I was working. So some of us, we can actually do what we are doing whilst you're home. We can do what we are doing in the diaspora whilst you're at home. What's keeping us is the diaspora, is just the status, or to say, I'm in the diaspora, I have to be in South Africa, I have to go to the beach. So you need to come to your senses and begin to say, what am I really doing where I am? What is it that I'm... you're actually suffering from rentals, you're suffering from the dudulas, you're suffering from the people who hate you, xenophobic attacks and stuff in the foreign country. Some are facing racial discrimination, but why not just make a decision to say, I need to start my planning to go back home? On this channel, guys, what I promote is investing in Africa. What I promote here is investing in your homeland. What I promote is you going home, having things that you call your own. But above all, according to this video, I'm just pushing you to say you have a source of income. You have somewhere where you start. And don't just be boxed to say, I'll do what others are doing. Yes, poultry is fine. Yes, chicken is farming. But have you thought of fish farming? If you thought of fish farming, if you thought of just buying what others are selling and resell them, you don't necessarily need to do the thing, but you can actually buy in bulk and supply to others. What is it that you're doing in your area? What is it that you feel people can actually do to make money in Zimbabwe? What is it that you feel people can do to make money in Africa? What are the mistakes that you think people are making during their relocating journey? Please share with me in the comment section. We want to talk about it. We want to empower each other. Above all, I encourage you to join our WhatsApp group, WhatsApp platform. It's free to join. It's called Team Bound. Yes, Team Chimodo. I want people with the same mind, people who are considering relocating, people who are considering investing in Zimbabwe, to be in one WhatsApp group where we inspire each other, where we share ideas, where we share thoughts. One other thing actually that's coming into my mind is, why not start a school, open a school? How many people are relocating to Zimbabwe? Why not you have a group of people, like-minded people, 10 people, you put your funds together, you build a school. You build a secondary school, or a primary school, or a boarding school, wherever. Find land, build a school. This is one thing that people can do. Find your teachers, they start. You want your children to learn English, prepare that school where they can actually be speaking their English, where you put the standards of that you've seen in those foreign countries where you have been for long. So I feel that there are a lot of things that we can do besides farming. There are a lot of income generating projects that you can actually engage into in order to make money, and not necessarily be on the ground tilling the land, waking up in the morning, getting to see the chickens. Open a school, a boarding if possible, so that your children will be with like-minded people with probably a similar background. So let's be part of the WhatsApp group. Let's talk about it. On 19 December 2025, we are meeting in Mrewa, Pabora. That's where we are meeting. Those who are coming from the diaspora, bring your wife, bring your partner, if possible, bring your kids. We're going to be doing braai, chisanyama there. We're going to be having people who will be speaking. It's not going to be a formal event, but we're going to have people who will be doing presentations, telling us how they are doing, how they are managing, where they are when it comes to the level of building, and where they are in terms of their income generating projects, the challenges they are facing. We'll also be inviting powerful people that we've been seeing doing things in Zimbabwe. So make sure you are in the WhatsApp group. Very soon you're going to be registering. Was for you to come. We're going to be letting you know how much we need just for the drinks, for the meat, for the the little things, just to make the day go. And I believe a lot of people have been confirming that they are going to be coming. So we're going to do it on the 19th of December, before Christmas time. Want people to be with their relatives, and after New Year, some will be going back to work on the 1st. Yes, they'll be going back home because they haven't relocated. They are planning their relocation, and they are just considering to be on the ground to see what's happening. So guys, to meet again in my next video. I'm here still having my car fixed. The guys have started taking off the shocks, and they're gonna be working on the car, getting it ready. Yes, the car is to go back to Zimbabwe. Guys, to go back to Zimbabwe very soon. And yeah, so I'll be sharing with you my journey. We have also started with our group of we are currently 9 people doing a project. We'll let you know. I won't disclose much about that project, but you will see the results. The results will be visible. The results will be very visible. So to meet again in my next video, make sure you've subscribed to this channel. Make sure you also leave a like. Just like the video. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to go further, make sure you join the community. We'll be doing specific videos, those deeper videos, and live stream for the members of the channel starting very soon. To meet again, God bless you. Have a pleasant day.